What's up, movie lovers? I'm Mike, and this is Gotta Love Them Movies. Oh, you guys, welcome back to Gotta Love Them Movies, your daily dose of movie news. I'm your host, Mr. Mike Brown. I'm here all the time. And you guys, today is a glorious Thursday afternoon. We have, I don't know. Today's just kind of a happy day, you know? New York City got hit with a ton of snow earlier this week. On Monday, we got a massive snowstorm. The snow is still around. I still haven't left my apartment. I don't know. This episode 8 of The Stand comes out on CBS All Access later today. Tomorrow is episode 5 of WandaVision. I don't know. There's a lot of things to be happy and grateful for today. I don't know. Today's just one of those days. I'm in a good mood. I'm in a happy mood. I got some bad news about the status of my flight attendant job last night. But you know what? I'm remaining positive. I'm remaining upbeat, positive. I don't know. Things are not shaking out the way that I think any of us would have wanted them to. But you know what? Lemons out of lemonade. I said that correctly. Lemons out of lemonade. Let's reverse the order of things. And speaking of reversing the order of things, I don't know, that's a terrible segue. You guys, we have a few fun things to talk about today. A few fun fan theories, some things happening in the world of movies and movie news. But before we can get into that, first, if you haven't already done so, head over to YouTube and type in Gotta Love Them Movies. In the top right-hand corner of the screen, you're going to see a little red box that says subscribe. Go ahead and click that red box. What clicking that box does, it helps us to widen our subscriber base. And with the more subscribers we get, the more watched content the channel gets, which helps me to earn ad revenue, making the show my full-time job. And as always, as soon as we hit 1,000 subscribers over on YouTube, the live portion of the show will move from Facebook to YouTube. So just something to keep on the radar there. And you guys, if you haven't already done so, send me an email. If you have any questions or comments, if there's anything in the world of movies or movie news or fan theories, or if you have your own fan theory, if there's something that you want to know, send me an email at gottalovethemmovies@gmail.com. And if it's family friendly, we can make your question or comment a main topic on the show and use it as a discussion point. So I very much appreciate that there. All right, guys, now it's time to head over and take a little bit of movie news.
What?
All right, you guys. Our first bit of movie news that we're going to cover today is, I had to make sure that I had the right window up. If you're familiar with director Jon M. Chu, one of his biggest properties currently right now is, he very famously directed the movie Crazy Rich Asians. And then he and Lin-Manuel Miranda got together and they collaborated where it was directing, producing together. Jon M. Chu directed the film In the Heights, yet to be released. Now, In the Heights is I think it's fair to say that Hamilton is Lin-Manuel Miranda's probably his biggest thing that he's done. That's what put him on the map. But maybe that's not exactly what put him on the map. If you can follow my logic here for a second, In the Heights, Lin-Manuel Miranda came out and just like blew everyone away with this original story of what it's like to grow up in Washington Heights here in New York City. And of course, Jon M. Chu directed the film adaptation of that. Well, apparently the film adaptation of In the Heights, which is going to be released both on HBO Max and in theaters simultaneously when it does end up coming out, hopefully in the not too distant future, right? Well, apparently that direction from a Broadway musical into a film adaptation has gone so well, and I can't tell you how crazy excited I am to see it. That now John M. Chu has been hired to direct the latest Broadway musical to film adaptation, which is Wicked. I've got to say, I haven't even seen In the Heights, and I can already tell you it is one of my most anticipated films of 2021. It was one of my most anticipated films of 2020, and then it got pushed back and delayed to 2021 to this year. Of course, Black Widow ranks high on the list. Of course, Wonder Woman 84 ranked high on the list, and we all know how that turned out. But you guys, Wicked, as cliche as this is to say, is one of my favorite Broadway musicals. It has the longevity. It's won so many awards. People love it. People buzz about it all the time. Even still, it's gotten to the point where everyone is so sick and tired of hearing popular. I wanna be popular. Do like all the rest of the words, right? People are so sick and tired of the music, just like with Frozen. You remember when Frozen came out and all the kids were singing the Frozen music? Everybody was so sick and tired of it, but it was a cultural phenomenon. It broke records. It outperformed what people thought it was going to, and now just seeing the trailers for In the Heights to see what John M. Chu can do behind the camera. Wicked is one of those properties. Wicked is so beloved by so many, myself included, that I don't see a better option right now. We know that Universal Studios has been wanting to do a Wicked adaptation for so long now. They've had the film rights for 10 years? I think they first wanted to do a Wicked film adaptation 10 years ago. And, now it's coming to fruition, or rather, it's the next step of coming to fruition. I'm excited for this. I think this is a great choice to hire John M. Chu. He's a wonderful, I can't speak to his character, I can only assume he's a wonderful human being who's just produced incredible work. So like I said, I'm excited to see In the Heights, and now I'm even more excited to see what he's going to do with Wicked. How is this property going to be tackled? Is it going to have that fantasy feel to it? Because In the Heights really does have that fantasy feel to it, even though it's grounded in the real world. I just can't say enough good things about this. But what do you guys think about Wicked, the movie musical film adaptation, live action film adaptation directed by John M. Chu? Does this get you excited? Are you like me and you're like, oh, I can't wait for this? Or are you just kind of like, oh, I'm over Wicked. Can we just move away from it for a little while? What do you think? Jump on down to the comment section below and let me know your thoughts. All right, guys, moving on. Our next bit of movie news, I was going to say movie musical news. Our next bit of movie news probably isn't going to come as a huge shock to anyone. Fantastic Beasts has paused production because, one of their team members had tested positive for COVID-19. I kind of feel like this is standard operating procedure now, with all of the drama surrounding Johnny Depp leaving the franchise. And we're not going to go into it. If you want to look it up, go ahead and look up Johnny Depp exits Fantastic Beasts. He was replaced by Mads Mikkelsen. I think that was a great choice. And here they are right in the middle of filming Fantastic Beasts Thrace. And now they have to shut down for a few weeks. Now, I think what's interesting about this is that it's actually pushed it's pushed the film's release date back ever so slightly. Let's jump into the article here for a second. I can't remember off the top of my head. Summer 2022. Deadline is reporting it's been pushed back to a summer 2022 release. Cool, I guess. I mean, it wasn't pushed back that much. but it actually kind of surprises me that it was pushed back for being shut down for a couple of weeks. Now, I understand being shut down for a couple of weeks impacts everything. Everything gets backed up and whatever. I didn't think it was going to affect it that much. We know that Jurassic World has been shut down before. We know that the Batman starring Robert Pattinson, that has been shut down, I think, twice now. And I'm sure that's probably impacted the release date at least somewhat. But yeah, the other thing that I find interesting about this is I find interesting, and now the words are not coming to me. The other thing that I find interesting about this is the wording of team member. They have not disclosed who it was or what this person's job was on set. Is it an actor? Is it the director? Is it a PA? Is it like somebody else who works on set? Is it, maybe a courier, a messenger, somebody just, hey, I have a package delivery. Hey, before you come on set, we have to test you. Oh, you tested positive. Hang on. Now the whole thing, like it really makes me question and wonder how close was this person to the project? If the film is being delayed at least a couple of weeks, at least, if they're pushing the release date of the film back, it makes me wonder, how close was this person to the project? How integral was their job in the filmmaking or writing or acting or producing part of this? Yeah, it really kind of makes me wonder how integral this person or this team member was to the production of Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them 3. Man, I wish they really would change the name of that franchise. Oh, it's such a mouthful. Anyway, guys, what do you think of the delay of Fantastic Beasts 3 due to this COVID spread? Or one person testing positive for it? Jump on down to the comment section below and let me know those thoughts. All right, guys. Our third bit of movie news today is this is I find it interesting. I find it very telling. There's been a lot of speculation going on for a while, or at least since the beginning of WandaVision, right? As to who Kathryn Hahn's character is. Who is Kathryn Hahn's character in WandaVision? She goes by the name Agnes. But of course, everyone is heavily speculating that she's not Agnes. She's actually the witch, the famous witch from the comics, the integral character Agatha Harkness. There have been a lot of comparisons made, and of course, the brooch that she wears on various parts of her clothing is a big part of it. So she was interviewed. Let me bring this up. So she was interviewed on Jimmy Kimmel. Was it last night, I believe? Or maybe it was 2 nights ago, whatever. And he asked her point blank. Let me see if I can bring this up here. Yeah, so he asks her point blank. Let's jump in here real quick. They're talking about Matthew McConaughey. Okay, here we go. Jimmy Kimmel asks her point blank, look, there are a lot of similarities between you, like the character that you play, and Agatha Harkness. I mean, you have like he specifically refers to the oval-shaped jewelry around her neck. And while you can't hear the audio on this clip, Kathryn Hahn's response was, I'm just going to take a sip of my drink and set it down. And, what's that now? Oh, sorry, can't respond. Can't respond to your question there, Mr. Kimmel. So, I mean, does it actually mean anything in the long term, in the bigger picture? No, I mean, he asked her a question that obviously she can't answer. But also, it's kind of a tongue-in-cheek answer, right? Like, hey, There's been a lot of similarities between you and this character. How do you respond? Oh, I'm sorry. Did you ask me a question? I mean, maybe I'm reading too much into this. But you guys, I can see. I think this is one of those instances where it's a little bit more clear to say, yeah, I have a pretty good idea as to who your character is right now. I think the internet is on fire. I think the fans know what's going on, and I think Marvel knows that we're onto them. All the secrets are going to be revealed in the weeks coming. So we just have to wait one Friday after the next until we get that next juicy morsel of WandaVision. Of course, I am loving this show. I am completely loving this show. Agatha Harkness, of course, is, as we're postulating, as we're speculating, is who Kathryn Hahn actually is playing. I think she's going to, instead of just being another character in the MCU, I think she's going to end up playing a much bigger role in the MCU. I think she and Doctor Strange are going to start teaming up. If you've been watching the show, if you've been watching WandaVision, and probably gonna spoil a few spoilers here for you, or if you haven't been watching the show, I should have said, it's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious that Wanda Maximoff is losing her mind, and this is the reality that she's choosing to live in right now, is this wacky sitcom world where every day is a different decade in television sitcom history. So, day one, we started off in the 1950s. It's a 1950s sitcom. The next day is a 1960s sitcom. The next day is a 1970s sitcom, and so on and so on and so on, right? So the next episode, episode 5, is most likely a 1980s sitcom. And, we can already kind of see, based on the clothing that Kathryn Hahn is wearing in this particular photo, in this particular shot, the set looks very Family Ties. It looks very, Growing Pains? It looks very Full House. It even looks very The Goldbergs, right? Even though The Goldbergs is a contemporary sitcom, it still has that kind of 1980s set feel to it, right? So I think we're gonna have a lot of interesting surprises. Now, I know that there's also, we may talk about this on the show tomorrow, but there's also been a little bit of speculation. It's been reported in various outlets that there was an interview with Elizabeth Olsen recently, and it was something. Oh man, was it TV Line? It might have been TV Line. I can't remember. I'll look it up and I'll make it an official topic for tomorrow. But the basic idea is that she was asked and interviewed. The Mandalorian had a huge surprise in the last episode, which was Mark Hamill showing up as Luke Skywalker in the last episode of The Mandalorian. She was asked, is WandaVision going to have a reveal in that same manner? Like a big kind of whoa, didn't see that coming, holy cow, that's incredible kind of actor or character popping up. And of course, now everybody's speculating, who could it be? Is it going to be Doctor Strange? Is it going to be Magneto? Is this how they're going to introduce the X-Men? Is it Tony Stark? Is it Quicksilver? There's so many different speculative things going on. And I think all of that is going to directly tie into, obviously, the events of what happens here in WandaVision, but also Kathryn Hahn's character, Agatha Harkness. I mean, it's Agnes for now, but I think we can all kind of see the writing on the wall. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you ask a question? Anyway, guys, what are your thoughts? I think it's pretty clear that Kathryn Hahn is playing Agatha Harkness. What do you think? Jump on down to the comment section below and let me know your thoughts. All right, guys, let's move in the same direction of the MCU. This is our final topic of the day. Yeah, Spider-Man 3, sticking in the MCU. Spider-Man 3, you guys, as we all know, Sony owns the rights, the film rights to the Spider-Man character and all of the rogues gallery. Spider-Man has one of the most impressive rogues gallery of any comic book character. Green Goblin, Doc Ock, Mac Gargan, the Scorpion, Vulture, who else? Electro, the Shocker. Man, who all have we seen on screen? Kingpin. My goodness, the list just goes on and on and on and on and on. One of my favorite villains in Spider-Man's rogue gallery has always been the Hobgoblin, and that has always been popularized thanks to let me see if I can pull this up. There he is, the Hobgoblin. As popularized in the 1990s Spider-Man the Animated Series cartoon. He was actually voiced by Mark Hamill, if you're not familiar. The Hobgoblin was voiced by Mark Hamill in the original Spider-Man Animated Series cartoon from the 90s. Not the original, but you know what I mean. So I always had a soft spot for the Hobgoblin. He's a villain, but he's also kind of not. I don't know, it's hard to explain. He's more of a he's like a Catwoman. Like Catwoman, yes, she's a villain. She does villainous things, but she's also not like purely evil. She's not like a completely bad person. And that's the same thing with the Hobgoblin. Hobgoblin found a way to like mask his identity. He was a close friend of Spider-Man, Peter Parker. His name is Ned Leeds. And when I drop the name Ned Leeds, maybe that name sounds familiar. Maybe is that the name of Jacob Batalon's character from the new Spider-Man movies? So I mentioned Sony earlier. Sony currently owns the film rights to Spider-Man, right? And so as such, they also kind of have their own they have their own secret channels of releasing information. One of those secret channels is it's an Instagram page, Spidey #1 fan on Instagram. This is Flash Thompson. Flash Thompson, of course, is a fictional character. He's one of Spider-Man's schoolmates that goes to Midtown High with Peter Parker. And so Sony Pictures has started this Instagram page where they just kind of every now and again post fun, silly things. The actor's name is escaping me at the moment, but they post all kinds of fun and silly things, just to kind of keep the fun and the spirit of Spider-Man alive. And every now and again, they will post some spoilery kind of things, or rather they tease various things. So was it yesterday or 2 days ago? I want to say it was 2 days ago on this particular Instagram page. On the Reels, if you're familiar with the Instagram Reels, it's a post that stays up for 24 hours and then it's gone. And this is a post that they posted on the Sony Spidey #1 fan page. It's just on the surface, it's Flash Thompson being silly, kind of posting a fun little picture, and obviously the poster says this or that. And so now we're kind of being made to choose. Do we choose between Jacob Batalon's character or his girlfriend from Spider-Man Far From Home? Pros and cons. Pros, she has a nice smile. Cons, she dated a loser. She also asks too many questions. The pros for Ned Leeds. He's funny sometimes. And the cons are literally everything else. But look at the picture. Look at this picture. Jacob Batalon right above his head, he has this little orange hat. Now, it's on the surface, you can kind of say like, oh, okay, it's just a little like drawing coming out. But no. Sony knows what they're doing. Let's look at this photo of the Green Goblin again. Now look at Ned Leeds. Now look at Hobgoblin. Did I say Green Goblin? I meant Hobgoblin. Now look at the Hobgoblin again. Now look at Ned. This is not an accident, you guys. This is not an accident. So they're teasing something. Like, obviously we know the character Ned Leeds turns into the Hobgoblin in the comics, and Ned Leeds is in this current version of Spider-Man in the movies. There's so many possibilities here. There's so many possibilities here. Even just look at this. Like this is a fun fan art. Like, it's just fan art from with Artkin on Instagram. Follow Artkin. His or her, I'm not entirely sure. Their art on Instagram is absolutely incredible. So this is just an artist's depiction as to what Jacob Batalon as Hobgoblin could look like, or might look like in the movies. Who knows? But here's the thing, you guys. I have been a huge proponent in saying they're not going to turn Ned into the Hobgoblin in this third Spider-Man movie. And here's why. There are too many characters in the movie already. The stories of so many characters. We know that they're introducing the multiverse into Spider-Man 3. They've already mentioned it in Spider-Man Far From Home. So we already know that they're going to be introducing or solidifying the concept of the multiverse in Spider-Man 3. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness confirms the idea of the multiverse. It's being heavily speculated that Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, although not confirmed, it's being speculated that they might show up in this third Spider-Man movie. It has been confirmed that Electro, Jamie Foxx will be coming back to play Electro. It has also been confirmed that Benedict Cumberbatch will be in this film, kind of acting as Peter Parker's mentor. Oh man, what else? J. Jonah Jameson from from the original Spider-Man film series, the Sam Raimi film series with Tobey Maguire. He's already been introduced. So they've already laid the groundwork for the multiverse. Multiverse things have already started popping up. WandaVision is more than likely going to start introducing other multiverse elements. Probably. That's not confirmed, but probably. I don't know. I've been saying for a long time, they're not, like, there's so much happening. They don't have the time in a 2-hour, let's just go ahead and say 2.5-hour movie. They're not going to have the time in a 2.5-hour movie to craft a good, decent story. Unless this is Ned Leeds from the multiverse, who comes out as, oh, I'm the Hobgoblin from another world, from another dimension, or a parallel, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Maybe. If they do it, it might seem cheap. I don't know. Like, but now that Sony has teased this photo, and it was only up on Instagram for like 24 hours and then was gone. But thankfully, other people have, they saved the photo. It really makes me question, I could see this happening. I could see this happening. I don't know how they're going to do it because, like I said, there are so many characters already in this movie. Alfred Molina has also been confirmed to come back and reprise his role as Dr. Octopus. So we have Dr. Octopus from one villainous reality. We have Jamie Foxx from another villainous reality, Electro. They've already introduced Vulture, played by Michael Keaton. Are they going to come back and revisit that story? I don't know. I would like to hope so. I would like to think so. I don't know. There's so much going on here, you guys. There's so much going on here. Here's another possibility that nobody's been talking about in conjunction with Spider-Man. At the end of the first Doctor Strange film, there's that end tag with Mordo, played by Chiwetel Ejiofor, where he comes out and he strips that one guy of his magic, and his body collapses and he falls to the ground. There is the possibility that Mordo might actually be a villain in this. This is complete speculation. I have no truth to base this on. I have no fact. I have no evidence. I'm just saying it's a possibility that the story of Spider-Man 3 might in fact involve Mordo going around taking the magic from other people, and he and Doctor Strange get into a rift. It breaks open the multiverse in their things, and then like maybe to Mordo's point at the end of the first Doctor Strange film, there are too many sorcerers. There are too many sorcerers. I mean, Agatha Harkness is a sorcerer. Maybe Mordo is going to connect with her in some way. Maybe that's going to be like the big reveal. Maybe Mordo pops up at the end of WandaVision. Who knows? There are too many possibilities here, and especially with Sony teasing this particular photo, I think it's pretty safe to say. I think it's safe to say that Jacob Batalon, in some version, in some incarnation, will be playing Hobgoblin. Somehow. I don't know how they're going to do it. There's so much being jam-packed into this movie, unless they're doing a part 1, part 2, which I highly doubt. I don't know. But question is for you guys, what do you think of Jacob Batalon as Ned Leeds being turned into the Hobgoblin? Do you think it's going to happen? Do you think it's going to happen in this movie? I mean, it's being teased. It's being teased by Sony. By Sony, in their unofficial back channels, in their way, it's being teased. It could happen. It could very well happen. What do you think? Do you think it's too many characters? Do you think that there's a really... I mean, I've always said, in Kevin Feige, I trust. And I trust that he's not going to oversaturate this film with too many characters, or necessarily with characters just for the sake of paying fan service. The script has already been written. They're already filming. They already know how this whole thing is going to shake out. I don't know. I trust in Kevin Feige, but I am a little concerned. That there are too many characters in this movie. Too many big main characters. Who knows? Maybe they'll pull it off flawlessly. We'll just have to wait and see. But what are your thoughts? Jump on down to the comment section below and let me know what those are. All right, guys. So this reaches the end of the show. We have one comment that came in, and as always, we might as well make it official. Let's take your comments and questions right now. Alive! It's alive! It's alive! Guys, not all of you have been firing in live comments and questions all show long, but at least one of you has. This particular comment is not in regards to film or television. It is from Nora Fox. Nora, how are you? You've been watching the show off and on for the past few months. Thank you so much for dropping in and just being a part of the conversation. And this is what Nora brings to the table today. She says, I can't tune in because I am in day 3 of our yearly sales meeting. Ugh, that sounds awful. But I just wanted to stop by and say your hair looks great. Well, thank you. This is pretty much how I woke up. I have yet to shower today. I will probably shower later. But this is the coif that I woke up with this morning. And I was going to put on my Star Wars hat. I thought I'd share it with you guys. I thought it was fun. I thought it was silly and very Conan O'Brien-esque. So yeah, I thought that I'd just share it with you guys. Anyway, that is our one and only comment of the day. You guys, thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for being a part of the conversation. Thanks for supporting the channel in the way that you do. I really appreciate it. As always, you guys, if you like this video, click like. If you really like this video, click subscribe. And if you really, really like this video, click share. Because that is exactly what my perfectly coiffed hair would want you to do. Much appreciated. As always, guys, if you have any comments or questions, go ahead and send me an email at gottalovethemmovies@gmail.com. And depending on if it's a family-friendly question or not, yeah, we'll definitely make it a main topic on the show and address your questions, concerns, fan theories, your own crazy theories. What's going on? What have you heard in the news? I'm interested. Send me an email at gottalovethemmovies@gmail.com. You guys, that's not what I meant to click on. We live in a weird, crazy world where everybody has their own thoughts and opinions, and sometimes those thoughts and opinions clash. So if you have an opportunity to infuse a little bit of kindness in the world today, please take that opportunity. And as always, in the words of Bill and Ted, be excellent to each other. I'll see you guys tomorrow.